I'm Ketra Thompson, and I'm a certified master hypnotist. Today we're going to talk about why you need to stop obsessing about whether or not your toxic partner knows what they're doing or doesn't know, and instead how you can get mentally free. So you have a partner that is emotionally destructive. Maybe they're even emotionally abusive, and they may make big deals over little things, and it leaves you feeling just really unsure and walking on eggshells. You bring up some common issue that needs to be addressed, and they have some kind of explosive overreaction to it, and it sends you spinning, and you're back on that roller coaster of not knowing what is going on. They may also be really neglectful, ignoring you when you speak, being too busy for you, flip-flopping between wanting closeness and wanting distance, and it all just feels like chaos. And I'm guessing if you have been dealing with this for any amount of time, you're feeling absolutely exhausted. And honestly, who wouldn't? I mean, you're spending all of your time trying to figure out, do they know that their behavior is hurtful? Do they know what they're doing is causing so much pain to me? And when I over-explain, why can't they understand? I can tell you one thing. They know this behavior is unacceptable with other people, and they rarely do it with other people, just with you. So there is some level of awareness, even if it isn't the level of awareness that we'd like them to have. You keep telling them, and they keep doing it. Why? Well, I want you to stop trying to figure out why, even though I'm going to go over it a little bit today. The thing is, if you're in an intimate relationship, that is the relationship that's going to trigger these insecurities, these belief systems, these feelings, really just what's been programmed into their subconscious mind as a child, and it's going to come out on you. Unresolved trauma is the issue here. They have triggers that send a message back to them that tells them that you said and meant something other than what you said and meant. They assign meaning to your words, they make assumptions, and it all happens in a split second. For the most part, our subconscious mind is formed by the time we're 7 years old, which means everything we experienced up to that point, we assigned meaning to it, and then we wrote a blueprint in our subconscious mind for the way that we would live our life. And our childhood experiences have a lot to do with how we react as adults, like it or not. And when someone hasn't taken the time to even have awareness about their childhood, then there can be a real issue. They may not even remember a lot of their childhood, and they haven't taken the time to process what happened to them and to have any kind of awareness about how that affects their behavior. I mean, sometimes even strangers can know more about a person than they know about themselves, because the fact is we do these things with other people, and other people recognize these faults in us, but unless that person's in a position where it really matters enough to them to speak up, they're not going to say anything to anyone. And so a lot of times people who have these issues go through life for years, sometimes forever, without ever addressing the real issue. So you keep trying to fix them, reading all the books, doing all the things, studying, trying to self-diagnose or trying to over-explain. But in the meantime, you keep getting damaged and you aren't focused on healing you. Instead of being so focused on them and letting that take up all of your brain space, I want you to be able to get mentally free so you can actually have clarity. Because when you're in the midst of this, it feels very confusing and everything feels foggy. So clarity is key. I'm not here to tell you whether or not you should stay in this relationship or leave the relationship, but I am here to say that if you feel constantly drained and exhausted, you may need to at least have a separation so that your mind can get more clarity. The thing is, mental clarity isn't even always achieved once you separate. It definitely helps, don't get me wrong. But if you aren't doing the deep subconscious work of really healing the damage that's been done and creating a sense of strength so you can hold really strong boundaries without feeling the pain of their actions like little stabs in your heart all the time, then you aren't to the point where you need to be in order to create lasting change. Mental freedom comes when you're able to have real clarity clarity and understanding about your own core beliefs, about your own trauma bonds that have kept you attached to this person, your own need to fix things that aren't yours to fix. That needs to be addressed so this pattern doesn't repeat with someone else, and it also needs to be fixed if you're going to attempt to save this kind of relationship, because you have to have an incredible amount of strength and clarity and not have that constant pain of someone else's bad behavior, taking it in as if it's just a personal attack on you, when the truth is it really has so much more to do with them. I know all too well how painful that feels, like you're being stabbed to death every day with a million tiny little stab wounds. And it is exhausting. It causes you to shrink down, become less of yourself. You have less ability to even function in your day-to-day life. And none of that is sustainable. Hypnotherapy allows you to access your subconscious mind and reframe your own core beliefs. It helps you to heal those parts of you that feel like you need to fix this other person, or you have to shrink yourself in order to be loved. It can help you heal that part of you that doesn't fully believe that you are worthy and lovable. You can learn all you want from books, but the fact is that that stuff doesn't get deeply into your subconscious mind unless you get into a state of mind that allows access to the subconscious mind. And that state happens during hypnosis. It keeps that little gatekeeper that would normally shut out information, and it opens it up to accept new suggestions, new beliefs, and it allows you to actually identify where they came from and have new insights that you may have never had otherwise. The truth is, trying harder doesn't work because your willpower simply runs out. Our willpower is controlled by our conscious mind, and our conscious mind doesn't have the power of our subconscious mind. 95 to 98% of everything you feel, think, and do comes from your subconscious mind. So creating change there is the key to creating lasting change in any of your other relationships and in any other life dynamic that you are dealing with. This is why my approach is unique. I have combined all of my experience as a relational recovery coach with all of my experience as a hypnotherapist to create a method that allows for rapid, deep transformation, especially when you're dealing with emotional abuse or even core beliefs that just keep you trapped in those kinds of situations. You can finally regain your confidence. You can have self-worth. You can know your value and have clarity about your life without feeling the need to stay stuck in something that's actually toxic to your life. Now, remember, I'm not talking about regular communication issues or a person that's actually willing to discuss the things that happen in a relationship, because we all have our weirdness. We all have things we could improve on. I'm talking about the kind of dynamic where the other person is oblivious to the fact that their reactions are overblown. Their words are hurtful. They're oftentimes critical and vacillate between that and being excessively cold or neglectful. There are needs that everyone has in an intimate relationship, and when they are grossly neglected, you are probably dealing with someone who has very little awareness of their own issues, and they've done very little healing to be able to even approach the subject calmly with a solution-focused idea in mind. So today, I am asking you to invest in yourself, make a decision about getting the clarity that you need and the healing that you need so you can finally make a decision from a place of clarity, a place that's calm, a place that's truly authentic and not functioning out of fear. If you are really ready to make that change, be sure to check out the link in the description to set up a free consultation with me to talk about these issues and to figure out if this is the right fit for you. I would love to talk to you and to answer any questions that you have. And also, don't forget, I have a free hypnosis download on my website, which is also in the link below. So check that out, click subscribe so that you can be notified every time I post a new video. And until next time, create a life by your own design.